I can't emphasize enough the power of lifestyle changes on managing coronary artery disease. We all know that if we change our habits for the better, it's going to improve our health. That's never been truer than of this organ, this heart that we have inside of us. But merely giving up the addictions and changing the habits is not enough. We need to manage the stress as well. And a great way to do that is through the use of breath work, meditation, and yoga. Now, this was backed up by a study carried out in India in 2004. It was by a group of doctors. I won't try and pronounce their names. But what the study did was took 70 participants with proven coronary artery disease, so proven heart disease, proven by angiogram, so that would be the gold standard. They had occlusions to their arteries. And they made a control group up with a similar number of people. Now, this group of people, for some reason or other, whatever their personal preference, didn't want to take medication. So they had the control group that they gave the regular medications to control the hypertension, to lower the cholesterol, and the other associated medications such as aspirin, something to thin the blood. They're your big three, really, aren't they? Your blood pressure medications, your cholesterol medications, and your blood thinning or antiplatelet medications. One group, the control group, went off and took them. The other group, the experimental group, committed to making these lifestyle changes that included walking for 30 or 40 minutes a day, making healthier adjustments to their diet so that they were reducing the amount of processed food they were eating, leaning more into whole food diets, leaning more into certainly unprocessed food, and reducing their sort of starchy, carbohydrate-y, heavily starchy, sugary foods. So basically reducing sugar that we know creates inflammation in the body. They were exercising more, and they took up yoga. They took up the Raj Yoga, which is a practice of meditation, breath work, affirmation. It's a really great little combination, and they did this for a year. Now, after a year, the people in the control group showed that they were about the same. You know, they were taking their medications, they were living their life, but there'd been no improvement in the coronary artery disease. In fact, there'd been a little bit of deterioration in many of them. The people that made the lifestyle changes to diet, started to move, and started to doing the yoga, the breath work, actively managing their stress. These people showed that there'd been no deterioration. Also, in some cases, in 70%, there'd been a slight reversal in the coronary artery disease progression. Now, granted, this is a very small study, but it does show the power of committing to lifestyle changes, the power of committing to some sort of yoga, meditation, breath work, active stress management, as well as reducing those foods that are causing inflammation and letting go of any addictions, be that alcohol, be that smoking, whatever the addiction, be it illicit substances. So if you can make positive changes after being diagnosed with coronary artery disease, you can significantly influence the outcome and the progression of that disease over time. Nobody's fate is sealed. Yes, if the doctor prescribes you medications, do consider them, do research them. You know, if your blood pressure's through the roof or you've had a coronary event, and your cholesterol's through the roof, yes, take the medication. But don't solely rely on that medication. Don't be one of these pill popping people that just say, oh, I take this for my blood pressure and I don't need to make any changes whatsoever. Because you're just missing such a massive opportunity to take your health into your own hands and to move in a positive direction, so that over time you might be able to reduce those blood pressure medications, you might be able to come off the statins, you might be able to do away with all those side effects of those medications over time if you make the appropriate lifestyle changes that are only going to have beneficial side effects. You know, the side effects of yoga are improved flexibility, improved strength, improved health, and stillness of mind. You know, compare that to the side effects of a beta blocker or the side effects of statins, for instance. It's just not comparable. The side effects of giving up smoking are greatly more beneficial than the side effects of any medication. So think about your lifestyle, make the changes you need to make. As I've said before in a previous video, if you can make changes to your breath, your behavior and your beliefs, it's going to shift you in the right direction. The one-stop shop for that would be take up some sort of yoga, because you're going to be moving your body in a meditative state, combining it with breath work that's really going to bring the mind and body together, that's going to help you move in the direction you need to move in a fast way, in a fast, effective way.